got a question or a story to tell. From the smallest town to the big city belle. Got a business dream you're hoping to start, or a question on elections and how to do your part. Now Bryan's here and he's ready to listen to the good people of Arkansas. The mission, he served the nation, now he's serving you for a stronger future and a vision that's new. Welcome to the Ready Room. Got a question? Let's talk it through. Welcome to the Ready Room, where your voice is heard and the people rule.
In every mission, there's a moment before the action begins. A place where warriors gather, gear up, and steel themselves for what's ahead. I'm Bryan Norris. Welcome to the Ready Room. Well, you guys couldn't hear me because I had the mic muted. So I'm gonna start all of that over again. Now I got it up. That's why I was doing a mic check at the beginning. Thanks so much, Randy and Rhonda, for getting in and letting me know that. So I'm just going to start right from the get-go. I want to give a shout out to everyone that's been assisting with the ballot draws across the state. Last minute, you guys have been getting after it. We didn't know when they were doing things. We didn't have any way. I mean, it's pretty bad that they don't publish that list out in advance to where we know. There were some counties that shot us an email, and I knew about them, like Washington County, Cleburne County, White County, a few others, but it was very, very minimal. So we spent the day just reacting to everything and trying to get people there to draw. And we're aggregating that data. We're going to have that out there, and we're going to give a snapshot because I'm really interested to see the positions that we got when people were present to draw in comparison to the positions that we got when people were not there and present to draw, and see what that data tells us. I know they say it doesn't matter, they just randomly draw and all that stuff, but you never know, and to me it just seemed like it would be interesting to say. So welcome again to another fantastic episode of The Ready Room. Tonight we're asking a simple question. Who really runs this state? The people or the politicians who are afraid of the people? Make no mistake about it, they are afraid of us. Because right now, your Secretary of State and Attorney General are spending your tax dollars to fight against you in federal court. They lost last month, and just yesterday, they doubled down and appealed. And we're going to break that down later. Plus, we got the FDA dropping a bombshell about COVID, vaccines and what it's doing to our kids, and every parent needs to hear this. And we're going to talk about why leaders like President Trump and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson are demanding that we go back to paper ballots. Guys, this is something that we've been on about since the get-go, even before this started. We know what's up. You know what's up. Now we're going to hear from some prominent people about what's really going on. All right, so don't forget to like and share. I can't overestimate that. And also subscribe if you're on YouTube. Guys, liking and sharing this gets our message out and the vision and awareness of this campaign and name ID out more than you can imagine. So please help us out. Like, share, pass it along. And please drop where you're watching from the chat, and I'll call you out. And any parents in the house, drop us a little red heart in there so that we know we got some parents in the house. All right. Now, your tax dollars fighting against you. So on November 19th, federal judge Timmy Brooks issued a 77-page ruling blocking the so-called hammer bills. Then December 2nd, yesterday, Secretary of State Cole Jester filed an appeal to the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals. Attorney General Tim Griffin's office is handling the appeal, and these bills are named after Senator Kim Hammer. All right. And so I'm going to share that image again that I was sharing earlier so you can read it where we are right there. That's the crypt. That's when Judge Brooks made his order on that. And to quote Judge Brooks here, he says, the high rates of signature invalidation under the existing highly regulated petition ballot system are only evidence that the system has failed, not that the system has worked. These high rates of invalidation are used to justify more regulation. It's already not working, which will inevitably result in even higher rates of invalidation. And this is a direct quote, steadily chipping away at the right to democracy enshrined in the Arkansas Constitution. Guys, this is our constitutional right. We have this. It's been there for a long time, and they're trying to take away our constitutional right. So these laws were never about election security. They were about making it nearly impossible for the regular Arkansan to petition their own government. Senator Kim Hammer wrote these bills. Does he want to serve the people or control them? Cole Jester called the judge's ruling a blow to ballot security. But what about the blow to your First Amendment rights? Your God-given inalienable rights. This isn't left versus right. This isn't top versus bottom. This is the establishment versus the fourth branch of government, we the people. A federal judge wrote this 77-page letter explaining why these laws violate your constitutional rights. And their response, we're going to appeal and we're going to spend more of your money. I can promise you this, as your Secretary of State, I will never spend taxpayer money fighting the citizens that I serve. I'm going to work with you to ensure that you have a fair and clean election, not against you. I'm not going to lock you out of the process. You have a constitutional right to. God-given, inalienable rights. So, if you have ever signed a petition or you've ever tried to do a petition, you understand how difficult that process really is. And guys, when you sign a petition and they cure those petition sheets, you have to be a registered voter, which means you've already validated your voter ID. If you're not a registered voter, they take you off. You're off. You're not going to count to it. So we already have that voter ID protection built into the petition process via the process of curing, which is what the county clerks are supposed to do. But they want to add more to us. And if you've ever done it, it's not easy. I've done it. It's not something that you definitely look forward to doing. It's something that we necessarily have to do sometimes in order to exercise our rights and petition our government, but it's not something that you just absolutely, you're not thrilled to go out and do it. So, should our state, I want to do a poll, drop it in the chat. Should our state be using your tax dollars to sue you? Yes or no? To deny your rights to petition? Yes or no? And this bothers me even more, and this is something that I would love to see a young legislature out there or a state senator out there bring a bill before the next legislative cycle that says if a public official sues a private citizen or a citizen group and loses, then they are fiduciary responsible and must recompense the people's purse. Right? Because right now, think about it. If you're an elected official or you're holding a bureaucratic office, you can sue people until the nth degree, and there's nothing that we can really do about it. It's at no cost to them. They've got unlimited resources to continue going after us over and over again, and it can bankrupt us. It can make us homeless. It can ruin our lives because you can't afford to keep up, which is why so many people plea out, because they would rather just plead guilty than lose everything that they had. It's not fair. It's not right. And it's been something that they've been getting away with for far too long. So I would like to see a legislature out there bring a bill that would curtail that a little bit for us and give us back. Okay. So let's go on to next one we got here. Well, let me check the chat real quick. All right, we got Benton County. All right, you guys are hearing me. How's the lag? I tried some settings to see if I could figure it out. We got Benton HQ there. We got Rhonda with Searcy County. I see all the no's. Yep. Randy says he's going to run in the Senate. Hey, take note of that. You're going to get in there. Let's see it. And all right. Okay, so next one we got is, why is the push for paper ballots growing? Guys, if you have not yet seen Laura Logan's episode on this, where she interviewed Gary Bernstein, you need to check it out. It's phenomenal. So this is something that's uniting people across the political spectrum, the push for return to hand-marked and hand-counted paper ballots in public. It's not a conspiracy. This is common sense. This is gaining some serious traction this week, if you've been paying attention, all the way up at the highest levels, from the president to the Speaker of the House and other members of the Senate and Congress. So in March of 2025, President Trump signed an executive order. It was titled Preserving and Protecting the Integrity of American Elections. this forced certain specific criteria to use machines in the United States. And if you can't meet that criteria, you can't use those machines. Well, nobody can meet that criteria. Then in August 2025, President Trump's announced that he's going to lead a movement to eliminate voting machines. And then another order referenced Germany and Canada was requiring paper ballots counted in public by local officials. So that was the order reference that those countries, that's all that they're using and the reasons why they're using them. Now, Mike Johnson did an interview with the Lindell Report, and the question was asked to him, when will an all in-person, same-day, hand-counted paper ballot measure be passed? That was the question that was asked to him by the reporter. His response, yeah, I've been asking that myself. I think that would be a really important measure to eliminate, fraud in elections. There is some element of fraud in every election. We all know that. And we have a duty as lawmakers to prevent as much of that as humanly possible. Direct quote. And then Laura Logan reposted this, reposted her episode out. And then Trump also chimed in on it. He said, we must focus all of our energy and might on election fraud. And this features Gary Burstein, and I'm going to play just a minute or two of it for you here. And then you can obviously go and find this episode and listen to the whole thing. I've listened to it a couple times now. A lot of information in here. And these guys are the same ones that wrote the book Stolen Elections. So here we go.
Yes. And it's co-located with the Consejo National Electoral, the National Electoral Commission. And there's 150 Smartmatic engineers and 150 C&E engineers side by side. They have two missions. Number one, steal elections. Number two, defeat audit. Study audit. How do different states and different localities conduct audit so that when they're audited, you defeat audit? An example, when people put absentee ballots on a scanner, it'll take a picture and take a picture and take a picture. And then when it's about to save them, it gets ready to take a picture of almost 100 together. But what it does is they erase that picture, send in another picture, because all these machines are connected to the internet. They're all hooked up. They're not supposed to be. A new picture comes in, 100 votes or 90% for the person that they want. Mm-hmm. But when you do the audit, you're not allowed to look in the box. You have to look at the screens. They've changed the rules around the country in the different states that make it almost impossible to show that they cheated because of, and what they do also is they'll make proprietary the source code. You can't examine that. You can't look at different types of technologies proprietary because that's where they're cheating. And they blocked those individuals very cleverly. One of the things that we learned is there's 14 different technical ways that you can steal an election. And they're operating off different parts of the machinery, but they can use number 1 and number 3, number 6 and number 7. They can use combinations, and they never use the same combinations in adjacent districts.
So that you...
All right, guys, you got to go back and watch that episode. And guys, I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning. I had a lot of stuff to work to do for Europe, so I'm running on nicotine and caffeine all the way. So we know who's calling for paper ballots now. It's not just activists. It's not just concerned citizens like us that we've been talking about it. President Trump signed executive orders in March pushing for paper ballots. He's announced he's leading the movement to eliminate voting machines. Speaker Mike Johnson, the third highest elected official in our government, when asked when we would get in-person, same-day, hand-counted paper ballots, his answer, I've been asking that question myself. He called it a really important measure to eliminate fraud. You just watched some of Laura Logan's podcasts, which Trump himself reposted saying, we must focus all of our energy on preventing election fraud. And he lays out the case for dismantling electronic security systems entirely. And it's already happening. Counties in Texas are switching from touchscreen to hand-marked paper ballots right now. They've done it in several counties, and they're trying to get a statewide initiative going. This isn't conspiracy. This is a growing consensus among Republican leadership that the way we vote needs to change. And it's got to change. If we don't fix this and we don't get it fixed soon, we're going to have some serious issues. There's evidence coming out now that we may not have had a fair national election since 2008 until 2024 because some people got involved and actually thwarted their efforts to rig that election. So, yep, Will, I got that. You sent me the link. You sent me the link, brother. I'm gonna get there. Hang on. Slow your roll. All right. So, I'm not here to relitigate 2020. I'm here to talk about 2026 and beyond, our future, what we're going to do. So whether you believe machines were compromised or not, one thing is undeniable. When you mark your paper ballot by hand and it's counted in public, there's nothing to argue about. There's no trust the machine. There's no trust the process. There's just math done in front of witnesses, and that is how you restore faith. We got to do it. And as your Secretary of State, I'm going to support county clerks who want to move toward transparent methods. I'll fight for voter initiatives that give Arkansans the choice to demand paper ballots in their counties. Transparency is not optional. It's essential. And I'll do everything I can to influence to ensure that we're there. And hopefully the federal government comes in and Sarah Sanders, like she said, we're working on it. We'll actually work on it and get this done before I come in and have to make some things move. So would you feel more confident with hand-marked paper ballots counted in public? Or do you already trust the system that we have? It's a fair question. And go ahead and type hashtag paper ballots out there if you want Arkansas to lead on election transparency. All right, moving on to the next one that we got. I want to hit this one out there for the parents because I know some people that it affected, and so I wanted to share it with you. If you didn't know, this story just broke days ago, and I want to give you the facts, what we know, what we don't know, and what are the questions we should be asking. So on November 29th, Dr. Vinay Prasad, FDA's Vaccine Division Director, sent an internal memo to staff. This memo claims that the FDA's review found no fewer than 10 children died after and because of receiving the COVID-19 vaccination between 2021 and 2024. Deaths reportedly linked to myocarditis, heart inflammation, and a quote from the memo. This is a profound revelation. For the first time, the USDA will acknowledge that COVID-19 vaccines have killed American children. What we don't know the ages of these children. We don't know their medical history. We don't know the specific methodology used. We don't know which manufacturers of the vaccines they used. And this has not been published in a peer-reviewed journal. Former FDA officials are pushing back, calling it science by press release. But here's what we do know. The FDA has officially acknowledged rare serious risks do exist. Myocarditis warnings were expanded in April of 2025. A rate approximately of 8 cases per million doses for those under the age of 65, and a higher risk in males aged 12 to 24, approximately 27 cases per million doses. So Arkansas's role. How does this affect us here at home? COVID vaccines are not mandatory for school entry in Arkansas. They're only recommended, but they are heavily pressured to get it done. The Arkansas Department of Health still lists them as a recommended dosage for children 5+. So the schools are still recommending them for children. This is also tied to the WebIZ tracking system and smart health cards. So with these revelations coming out, why hasn't Arkansas already hit the pause on that recommendation? Why isn't our health department demanding more transparency before continuing to recommend these shots for our kids? I served 21 years in uniform, I've had more shots than most of you have had hot meals. It's sad that we can no longer trust these institutions. As for me and my house, I will never take another vaccine, nor will my children. Because I'm a father of 3. And when the FDA itself, not some fringe group, but the FDA says they believe these shots kill children, we got to start asking some hard questions, team. This demands a lot more transparency, not silence. Parents deserve answers, not talking points. Our kids aren't guinea pigs, and parents aren't obstacles to be bypassed. So here you can see the review, the paper being published on it. Now here's the Arkansas State website that lists the recommended dosage for everyone that's 5 years and older, right here. And then right here is the Arkansas immunization exemption. You can go on to this website, and I'll put it in the chat for you guys. You can go onto this website and you can pass it out to your loved ones, you know, that have kids. And there's a type right here that you can put non-medical philosophical immunization exemption. I helped a buddy fill this out for his kids. You're just saying that I don't want it. And here's my paper telling you that I don't want it. Leave me alone. Go kick rocks. And that's what they're going to have to do. It's available for you out there. It's on their website. The process exists. It's easy. You just fill it out. Now, here's what I forgot to show earlier. Let's see if I probably don't even have it up anymore. Nope, didn't bring it up. Anyway, we'll get to that later. We're building the plane as we fly, guys. So, I want to know, what questions would you have for the FDA news? Drop them in for us. Let us know. And should Arkansas pause the COVID vaccination for our kids? Is that something that this administration should be leaning forward on in the Foxhole? Share this segment with a parent who needs to see this and let them know. The more you know, the more you grow. All right. Moving on to the next one. What kind of Secretary of State... And Will, I'm sorry, I was going to bring it up, but I lost track of where I was. I'm going to bring it up right now so you can see that I had it. All right, Will, here you go. Here's the link that Will dropped in chat already. This outlines some phenomenal information on it. Bottom line up front, a former Venezuelan intelligence chief sent Trump a letter claiming that the Maduro regime is running a full-spectrum narco-terrorist war against the U.S. using drugs, gangs, spies, and election tech. So the ex-director of the military intelligence under Chief Chavez and Maduro was extradited to the U.S. and pled guilty in a narco-terrorism case. His main claim is that the Venezuelan state itself is a narco-terrorist organization, Cartel de los Soles, which we all have heard that with what's going on in Venezuela now, and they are deliberately weaponizing cocaine against the U.S., not just tolerating traffickers. He alleges the regime created and then exported criminal gang Tred de Arguin and others, and that the Biden-Harris open border policy became known, and Caracas intentionally sent gang members into the United States to commit violent crime on the regime's behalf. Some spies and intel claims that decades-long Venezuelan, Cuban, Russian espionage against the U.S., including tapping submarine cables and Russian intel, Cuban networks inside the U.S. naval bases, Venezuela spies poisoning as opposition, and even some U.S. diplomats and CIA officers have been compromised. Now, to the elections piece that he's claiming, he says Smartmatic was born as a Venezuelan regime tool that oversaw people in the electoral system, and that the software can be altered and has been used to rig elections. He claims that the regime linked actors to maintain relationships with U.S. election officials and voting machine companies. He stopped short of saying every election was stolen, but he says they can be. So what did he do to Trump? He frames this as atonement, backs Trump's Venezuelan policy as self-defense, and offers to give more details to U.S. authorities including classified briefings, which could potentially reduce his sentence if prosecutors consider it substantial assistance. Guys, that's huge. That is absolutely huge. So keep your eye on that one. Keep Googling for information out there. You're probably going to have to go and find it. It probably won't be plastered out everywhere, but it's something we're going to know. All right. So, Will, I got that. Promised you I had it. Shared that out. We're going to move on to the next one. What kind of Secretary of State do we want? Let me leave you with this. What kind of Secretary of State do Arkansans deserve? Do you want a gatekeeper? Do you want someone that spends taxpayer money fighting citizens' petitions in court? Piles on rules only lawyers and big campaigns can navigate? Appeals when a federal judge says that's unconstitutional? Makes the process harder, not easier? Serves the political class? Or do you want a servant? One that makes rules simple enough that a farmer, nurse, or mechanic can participate in. Increases transparency so everyone sees how elections are run and everything that the office does. Fights for citizens' rights, not against them. Treats the office as a service, not a throne. Serves the people. I'm running to be Model B, a servant. That's what my campaign has been all about. That's what I'm going to deliver on. You shouldn't need 6 figures and a DC consultant to participate in your own state's constitution. The Secretary of State should be the people's champion, not their gatekeeper. And I will not be that. Arkansas, tonight, guys, we've covered a lot already. Your state is spending your money to deny you your constitutional rights. They just doubled down yesterday with an appeal. A growing movement from President Trump to Speaker Mike Johnson demanding that paper ballots and transparency. The FDA dropped a bombshell that every parent deserves answers about, and we need to know why our state still has it on the recommended list after this realization. The choice in front of us, a government that serves us or a government that rules us. And I'm fighting for a fair shot for every Arkansan, and I need you on the team. I need you in the fight. Guys, the last couple of days has made me keenly aware of something that I desperately want to get ahead of. I want to have someone in every county who, during the election, as voting has taken place, can either preferably be at the county courthouse and get those numbers as they're coming in, or be able to call and have established a rapport with that county so that they can get verifiable voter data information as quickly as possible. That way we can aggregate that data together on election night and know in real time where we are. And we will live stream a watch party, and we will have those numbers up on the screen where everybody can see it and know what's going on real time all across the state. And we can be faster than KIT8 News, Little Rock News, and Northwest Arkansas News. But we need that. So if you want to volunteer, you can volunteer through messaging me via email at norseforarkansas@gmail.com. You can volunteer via our website at bryannorse.org. You can volunteer by sending me a message in Facebook, X, on YouTube. And if you have my phone number, you can obviously text me or call me, tell me that you want to volunteer. And my phone number is 808-321-6979. Stay in touch with me. Let me know what you'd like to do, how you want to help if you can. We need you. We need you on the team. We need you in this fight. We're ramping up. We've got some communication platforms that we're utilizing to collaborate our efforts. And we're organizing. We've got a plan. Remember, a goal without a plan is just a wish, and I ain't in the business of wishing. We've got a really good plan. We'll put together a phenomenal plan for us that we're following to as best we can. And the more people we get on the team, many hands make light work, and we can knock this out together. But it's super important that we have regional leaders and we have county coordinators. And we really need those people to sign up for voting day, to take ownership of getting the count in that county and transferring it to us as quickly as possible as it comes in. Super important. We've got signs that came in. We've got some of the signs being distributed already through points, but we need those county coordinators and those regional leaders so that we can align our efforts. We got 6 regions that we've identified. If we have 6 regional leaders, that's 6 people that me and Will need to interact with, to give information, to give push cards, to give signs, to give stakes, to give everything that we need to give to the county coordinators, who can then coordinate with the people in their county that said, hey, I want a sign, or I need some push cards. They can also let us know what events are taking place that we need to be made aware of. They can represent us on our behalf to events that's happening in their county that we can't attend to because we're otherwise occupied in another area. And they can let us know of extremely important ones that's happening in our county that we can reprioritize and get to in person if need be. But we don't know what we don't know. And that's where you come in. If you sign up to help us out and you're passing us that information, then we're going to be able to make those decisions as we go and be a unified front across the state, all on the same team, all on the same message, all driving to the same go. And that's going to be a semblance of what my office is going to look like as your Secretary of State. It's going to be a unified front. We're all on the same team. We're all driving to the same objectives, and that's to make Arkansas better for everyone. Have clean, free, fair elections that are transparent. Have a business environment that is friendly to small business as it is corporate interest, that allows you to grow and thrive and not just survive. And one that gives you transparency in your capital ground so that you can access your body politic with ease and influence your elected officials more than the lobbyists do today, because that's what you deserve. So make sure that you text us, email us, go to the website, send us a message if you want to volunteer. Go ahead and type in there what you would be interested in, if you would like to take a county coordinator role or regional leadership role, or if you want to help with data, or if you want to do phone banking. We've got a comms director that's getting ready to set up some phone banking venues. We got a pretty cool skit that we're going to produce here soon and get that out there for you to promote that. And remember to share this stream. Try to share it with at least 3 friends, and then ask them to share it to 3 more. Push this information out there. If we don't push it, if we don't do the work, no one else is going to do it for us. So show up to your next Republican Party meetings, show up to your next court meetings, show up to your city councils, be the adult in the room, make people aware of what's going on, let them know in person who we are and what we're all about, and follow us and make sure you turn on notifications so you never miss another episode. And I'd like to leave you with an organization that was recently started. It's called CFC 75, and that stands for Conduit for Commerce. 75 stands for all 75 counties in Arkansas. Guys, this organization has the potential to be a game changer for the state of Arkansas and for our aligned political views of freedom, liberty, and getting government out of our business, reducing it. The structure is there. The communication is there. The templates are there. The data is there. If this is something that you would like to get involved in, you can go to the website, CFC 75. I think they have a Facebook page. I'm going to check real quick, see if they got a Facebook page. I'm pretty sure they do. I think I was on there earlier. Where was it? I'm not on that one. No, I saw it somewhere. Let me go to the Google. Yeah, just go to, it's Conduit Freedom Caucus, CFC75.com. That's CFC75.com. You can contact them. You can donate. You can participate. I can't overstate the importance and the potential that this organization has to do. One of the big things that they're getting after is what they call 3,500 trigger votes. So they want in every Senate district throughout the state of Arkansas, they want to have a roster of 3,500 votes that they know they can count on to go and vote in a unified direction. That magic number would allow them to pretty much determine every Senate seat in the state of Arkansas, because that's the way the math works out. If you can guarantee to get 3,500 votes out for every Senate seat race that's out there, then that person is going to win. So look them up, consider joining, consider volunteering. It's a phenomenal group. If nothing else, it's just another venue to meet like-minded patriots, people that are civil servants, people that are dedicated to their country, people that are patriots, that love their country and their state, and just want what we want. We just want to be left alone. We want less government. We want less hands in our pockets. We want more freedom. We want more of a part in the process. We just want to feel like we're being represented and not ruled all the time. We just want to know that you're listening to us, at least some of the time. Every once in a while, throw us a bone, you know? And that's what this organization is all about. They're absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, Randy says it's easy to challenge legal decisions when you're spending other people's money. Yeah, guys, our government has a spending addiction. They love to spend our money. And don't get me wrong, I would love to spend other people's money too all day, every day. But we don't get to do that. We don't get to do that at all. So if you want to see change, you have to be the change that you want. You actually have to put in the effort. Don't give up. Stay involved in your Republican Party committees. Get involved in CFC 75. Start a local conservative group in your county and do the work. Do what it takes to get to where you want to be. Because if you're not going to do it, no one else is going to do it. So here I am, Lord, send me. That's why I'm running to be your Secretary of State. Because somebody's got to do it. Nobody else was stepping up, so I stood up. I would have, I have a pretty nice job. I got a pretty nice life. I got a great wife. I got good kids. I was having a good time. But I love my state and I love my country, and I want to do everything that I can to make sure that we are where we need to be, where we want to be, not where other people want us to be. We need to stop making everybody else's life easier and start focusing on ourselves first and get our own house in order. And then we can start taking care of other people. So team, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and spend a little bit of time with my family. I got a full day tomorrow. I'm going to be out in Little Rock. I'm going to be over to Conway. If you're in the Conway area, you can come over and hang out with us at Larry's Pizza at noon. They got a room in the back. There's going to be a good presentation going. It's a great group of people. If you're in that area and you want to link up and get some signs, get some push cards, get some other stuff, I'm going to be there. And then I'm going to go over to Faulkner County Courthouse for their drawing, which is at 3:30. And then from there, I'm heading down to Garland County for their Christmas dinner. Going to speak to them a little bit, mingle around with that crowd there and get to know them a little bit more and let them know who I am. So if you're in the Garland County area, please show up. Let me know you're there. Come on out. Have a good time. And, of course, if you are able to make a contribution, you can still do it through the website. You can message me for an address to send a check to. As we're in the home stretch, and it's going to take money. It's going to take a war chest to win this battle. It is what it is. You guys have probably gotten to know me already. I'm not a fan of asking for money, but we've got to have money to make this thing work and do this thing. I'm being as fiduciary responsible as I possibly can be with every dollar that you guys give me, and I'm going to continue doing that to the best of my abilities, and I'll make sure every dollar goes farther than everyone else's. So if you're able and you're so inclined, you can go to briannorris.org and throw me a bone. Buy me a cup of coffee. My average donation is $12 right now. It might be a little bit higher now, but it was $12 a few weeks ago. So check me out. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for your time. We'll see you out there on the campaign trail. I'm out.